Alright, this is the second video, how to classify particles, and we're working off of the handout classifying particles too. So I want you to pause the video, grab some pencil crayons and markers, and color these atoms here in the same way that I have done here. So different than what we were doing before, but just we'll start with the coloring part of it. So go ahead and do that. Okay, we're back, and what you're going to see here that's different compared to the previous sheet, here we just use colors and geometric shapes to represent different kinds of particles, different kinds of atoms or elements that are on the periodic table. Here we're using the same shape, a circle, but now we're using different colors and a different chemical symbol in each of the circles to represent a different kind of element. For example, the blue N is nitrogen, the gray C is carbon, the kind of gray silver circle with Cu in it is copper, the green circle with Cl in it is chlorine, etc. So what we need to do here is, again, redraw these and put them into the correct box. Now I'm going to be using a different model set. I'm actually going to be using these guys. These are models that you can actually build. Schools usually have them, like we do at our school, and you can purchase them, in special school supply websites and stores and whatnot. So we're going to put these into the correct box over here. Similar to what we did with the plasticine in the previous video. Okay, so we'll start with this one right here. So there it is. We got nitrogen with 3 hydrogens around it. Where does it belong? Where do you think it belongs? Well, it actually belongs right here. It is a molecule and compound. The reason it's a molecule is because we have more than one atom joined together. The reason it's a compound is because we have more than one kind of atom or element joined together. We have nitrogen and we have hydrogen, 2 different kinds of elements joined together. It's a molecule and compound. The next one, this is your carbon. So here's what it looks like. Where does it belong? Where do you think it belongs? Well, it actually belongs right here. This is an atom and element. There's just one of them. There's not more than one atom joined together, and there's only one kind of element there. It happens to be just carbon, so it belongs as an atom and an element. The next one is this guy. Now I know your drawing has 8 sulfurs joined in a ring. I couldn't find enough atoms, so we'll just assume that a sulfur particle kind of looks like that. So where does it belong? Where do you think it belongs? Well, it actually belongs right here as a molecule and element. The reason is, well, a molecule is more than 2 or more atoms joined together. Well, we have 6 atoms joined together in our model and 8 atoms joined together in our drawing. So yeah, there's more than 2 atoms joined together, so that makes it a molecule. But we only have one kind of atom here, or one kind of element, and that's sulfur. And so it still belongs under the classification of an element. All right, the next one is this guy. 2 nitrogens joined together. Where do you think it belongs? Well, it actually belongs here. The reason it belongs in molecule and element is because, well, there's at least 2 atoms joined together. That makes it a molecule, but there's only one kind there, just nitrogen. From the periodic table. So that's why it belongs as a molecule and an element. Okay. Next one is HCl. There it is right there. We've got a hydrogen joined to a green chlorine. Where do you think it belongs? Well, it actually belongs right there as a molecule and compound. Again, it's a molecule because there's at least 2 atoms joined together. The reason it's a compound because there's at least 2 different kinds of atoms or elements joined together. We have hydrogen and chlorine. Here's the next one. This is carbon dioxide, which we're representing right there. Where do you think it belongs? If you thought here, then you're right. It's a molecule because we have more than two atoms joined together. We actually have three of them. And it's also a compound because we have at least two different kinds of atoms joined together. We have carbon with oxygen. It's a molecule and a compound. And then lastly, we've got this guy. Two hydrogen atoms joined together. Where do you think that belongs? You're right if you thought it belongs here. This is a molecule and an element. A molecule because we have at least two atoms joined together, 1, 2, but it's an element because we only have one kind there, just hydrogen. Okay?